Okay, hello.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Uh, Good time all across the globe. Today we are going to discuss regarding Indian hegemony in Bangladesh. It has ended its chapter on 5 August 2024 after the fall of a fascist regime led by a woman called Sheikh Hasina. So today we've got two very front runner women from two corners of the world who have joined us, and they will tell us how Indian hegemony in Bangladesh has ended. So, for the first time, I would love to request uh, Rita Rahman to come up regarding her take on Indian hegemony in Bangladesh, please.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah,
Awesome.
yes, this is a this is a very intense topic. In fact, what we are going to discuss. Indian hegemony in Bangladesh had a long history back because India, I would say that we can start from 47 when the partition took place, and the through the partition, two countries took birth, one the Pakistan and the other India, and Bangladesh, the geographical portion, which used to be called East Bengal earlier, and then it was named East Pakistan, and now it is Bangladesh. This geographical region was tagged with Pakistan, and then India realized, and recently, like about few months back, the Indian foreign minister said that it was our mistake to let Bangladesh go from Indian territory because they realized the seven sisters, the seven provinces in the northeastern side of India was tagged with a very small corridor, which is called the chicken neck, and Shiliguri corridor is the other name of it. So it is very tricky. Bangladesh is like giving a corridor to India, and it's seven provinces, so it connects. So it is a very sensitive area, and the north of the Bangladesh, northern side of Bangladesh is particularly Rangpur. If you talk about Rangpur, is very close to this chicken neck. So what is going on? India had been always playing as the big brother of Bangladesh or smaller countries of the region. They wanted to dictate these countries. So, what happened was why India became so powerful in the beginning. Because geographically, when the partition was made, the map was being drawn, India was given a lot of advantages over Pakistan, and then these smaller countries like which later on tagged with India, like Hyderabad and the other states like that, which were forcibly taken by India in a course of the time, because India, um, they actually was trying to undermine the smaller countries, and they thought that they can have a total control over the smaller countries of the region. And Bangladesh is very important to them for many various reasons. And Bangladesh nowadays, we are hearing people are expressively saying that Bangladesh is a very important regional, because it's placed in such a way geographically that it carries a very importance for the region, the geopolitics of the region, because the Bay of Bengal, the triangle that surrounds Bangladesh's the what do you call that, maritime boundary, and Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean altogether, it carries a very immense importance in the region, in the geopolitics of the South Asian region. So you have to understand why India is bent upon having total control on Bangladesh because of these two reasons. One is their chicken neck, and other is the maritime boundary that Bangladesh naturally possesses. It is very vital for any trading importance through the sea line, maritime, trading and whatever you say, blue business or commerce. So Bangladesh carries two very important characters, which are, which is why India's fighting for Bangladesh. See what they have done. They have invested so much in Bangladesh, and Sheikh Hasina, particularly, was their peak. And before Sheikh Hasina, I would say her father, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was their peak because the Agartala Sharajantra Mamla, which we used to call Agartala conspiracy case, it was a real thing. The conspiracy was actually going on against Pakistan to separate East Pakistan and tag it with either India or make it a independent country, because they knew Bangladesh's geographical situation was as such that the three of the borders of Bangladesh is surrounded by India, and India thought that if Bangladesh is separated from Pakistan, Bangladesh will have no other way but to merge with us or be with us. Whatever we want, they have to comply with us. So that, you see, so this is. But when they saw that after independence and after 1975 regime change, they saw something different, which they did not expect. What happened? Bangladesh became independent, sovereign, and their territorial integrity was very strong. So what happened was India was alienated, because when India started, you know, exerting their all their demands, like economically, socially, and otherwise, also they started uh, it's their hegemony. They started benefiting out of our everything, all our resources, leaving Bangladesh helpless and backward, giving a image to the world that Bangladesh is dependent, it doesn't have many resources. What happened after the 1975 change, when this GRAism came and this process of transition to democracy, what has started, what happened through that, they they Zia Rahman and the politicians, the existing politicians of the country, that includes my father, Mushir Majadu Mia, they started a process to process of transition to democracy, which they named, and it was like quoted also in various, if even in the qualified, what classified reports of the USA. There, this process, the name of this process had been mentioned many times, although the people who are the in the talk shows or in the other analytical programs, they don't talk about this. This is something very exclusive, and it is not being mentioned by, for various reasons, because our media, like what happens in USA, the media, economy, everything is being controlled, maintained, and directed by Jewish communities, which are directly connected with Israel. So Israel controls most of the important sectors of USA, for which USA bound to be, complied with Israel. That is the reason why we see that there is no solution to Palestine issue. See what they're doing in Palestine. This is, everybody is protesting against this. It's a blatant violation of human rights. They're killing the children.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Yes,
this
we'll
is the
come back to you.
hegemony. Sorry, because
Yes.
let me just conclude. This is the hegemony that India similarly wanted to do the same thing. They wanted to control our economy, our other sectors, our cultural sector, our education sector, and our foreign relations. That
Yes.
is how they started doing the hegemony. Okay, so for now, I end. I'll come back.
No
When you
issues. You've just started off, right? We will have
Thanks.
great conversation, and the whole issue will actually not just be based on soft power, but also the hard power of India, based on which they wanted to actually show up so much fear to the people. Right now, we have started speaking out. So Arnab Goswami, Mayuk Ghosh, all other people are right now getting the lessons that we people can speak. We can also see, tell the world that we are listening to you and we know how to actually provide the
Yeah,
brevatals to you.
we have now realized, and the India has exposed themselves so much. They have made Bangladesh the second foreign currency earnest country. So now the citizens of Bangladesh are very aware. They are very aware of Indian hegemony and how they
Yes,
worked and how Sheikh Hasina used to serve them. See,
yes.
so they have exposed themselves now.
Okay, so the hegemony was first started by Antonio Gramsci, a German philosopher. He told that hegemony is not just about cultural hegemony. It started with culture, soft power, but it goes to the geographical boundary. So right now, I want to provide the floor to Ma'am Taslima, Ma'am, to actually take on this very given topic, Indian hegemony in Bangladesh. What's
Thank
your
you very much, and Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed Bhai, and beloved Mita Rahman Appa, and your audience. And it's a great honor to talk with you guys about this intense issue. First, I think I should make myself clear by saying that I'm here not to spread any hatred about any country. I mean, not only me, none of us are here to spread any hatred against India, more specifically. Rather, we are here to explain ourselves. What are we thinking? Why are we thinking? Why all of a sudden the whole Bangladeshis raising their voices against India's hegemony or hegemony? It's not just started yesterday. I remember, I think I was the first person here who organized seminar on immediate after Felani's death, brutal death. How come a 15-year-old unarmed girl can be a threat to any country? They not only killed Felani, they dishonored her body. And this is the pain all the Bangladeshis have been bearing in our mind. We didn't see any Indian politician or the media raised a voice or show their sympathy over these brutal killings. This has been going on and on and on. We lost Major Sinha. We lost 57 army officers. We lost so many people over the years. And now, Bangladesh people, we lost our patience. That should be an end to it. And that's why we all are here. So when we started about this, we started raising our voices. We didn't find any people. And I remember when I started organizing this kind of seminars, some of us, I don't know who are there, they told others not to join in. But now you see, after 12 years or 14 years gap, the scenario has been changed completely. Now everyone has started raising their voices, and which is very, very good. So first thing first, your headline was like, what would be our responsibility? First thing is that we expect respect. Even without respect, a relationship can't continue. Same way, without proper respect, two nations can't work together. They can't be on same board always. So this thing India needs to think about this. Brutal killings on border, shoot on sight, that things carried on by their border safeguarding people, that needs to be reviewed. And then another important thing, that we have lots of illegal immigrants, illegal individuals have been living in Bangladesh, and they have been working in many private sectors in our country. And then we heard that a lot of the employees, they are taking cash instead of taking money in their bank. So this is a big amount of the money just going here without noticing. So this thing needs to be stopped, and then the only way we can do that um, uh, hold all the illegal Indians accountable. And our current government has showed enough consideration, and they are taking enough, I think, right steps towards this kind of activities. And then we have other lot of issues going on actually. And then another one is the proper we demand investigation of Pilkhana tragedy, international investigation. That's what we want now. And then another thing is that we want international involvement in distribution of Tista water and other rivers water, because in the past we have seen that whenever two countries came to some sort of disagreement, there are always third party. IMF were there, America there, Netherlands were there to end off that kind of this disagreement. And they were able to establish some settlements. Even in India and Pakistan, they are sharing Sindhu's water. So why not us? So now it's high time that we urge in international community about this issue. Proper sharing of the water, that is also important. And another thing that is, we are really sick and tired of their dominance, their involvement. Look, here in UK or even in America, we have lots of important urgent meetings carried on, like Cobra meetings. We never seen that any army or naval officers from Europe or America join in. But what is happening in our country, whatever it happens, like Indians are officials are there, that is really very much disturbing, very much annoying. This thing needs to be stopped. This thing, this our generation, we can't tolerate this anymore. We can't. They should come to an end of it. And as I said, and then Appa said earlier, that they need to show some respect at this point. And again, as I said, said earlier that I have respect. I place my respect and trust and faith on Yunus government. I have trust and faith on BNP, Begum Khaleda Jia, Deshnetri Begum Khaleda Jia, and of course on Tariq Rahman. So I believe that now at this moment we can see that all the politicians are now united, and they are saying same thing, that we have to protect our sovereignty. So now I think all the Bangladeshi at the moment thinking that sovereignty first. So against this hegemony, India's hegemony or aggression, we can say that should come to an end. But that doesn't mean that we hate India. We love their music, we love their food, we love their saris, fashions and everything. But that is different thing. As soon as they realize the mistakes they have made, it's really, really shocking that since 5th of August, none of the Indian politicians showed a minimum solidarity towards Bangladeshi people. They never condemned. Still, after 5th of August incident or the revolution, they still took the side, Sheikh Hasina's side. So that doesn't make good on us. That cannot be, like, two countries cannot work. Country people can't work like this way. So if India really wants to be our friend, then India needs to change their strategy. They needs to win Bangladeshi people's heart. That's it.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Barrister and Major Sarwar Hussain has joined us. He is a graduate and postgraduate of international relations and a barrister, solicitor himself. He is one of the very, very, very effective persons to speak on it. Sarwar, sir, would you like to speak right now, or you need some more time?
Speaker, I will speak after 10 minutes. I am still on the road.
Okay, no issues. Okay, we'll be waiting for you. And now I'd like to actually provide floor to Rita ma'am. Since Rita ma'am, you know very well when there were in the U.S. people, they were very happy that they've got Tulsi Gabbard as the head of the intelligence of Trump administration. But Trump is a non-interventionist. He doesn't like to interfere in any other country's affairs. Right now, there are a lot of issues. Since you are over there in the United States, what do you think about the any kind of policies will be actually taken by Tulsi Gabbard with the help of Indian diaspora over there? What do you think about it?
In fact, in US, unmute. Okay, thank you. Uh, Actually, Indians in USA, the Indian diaspora, they are quite influential and they are placed in very important positions nowadays. So with the change of the new regime after Trump has been elected, he's going to take over very soon in January. So you can hear about at least 4 to 5 Indian Indian origin diaspora, Indian, they will be placed in the very important position of Trump administration, like FBI chief, who's going to be Indian, and the CIA intelligence chief, and other sectors, very important sectors, are also going to be represented by uh, the US citizens of Indian origins. So, but also, but this is one factor, but also Trump has a very soft corner for Modi government. So there is a speculation that after Trump comes, things may change. And although you are saying that with Trump's record, track back record says that he does not interfere in foreign affairs so much as others do. But this time, I think Trump has gone through a lot. And this time, Trump is not going to be the same person I expect. Or many people are speculating now that Trump is not going to be the same person he was in his first tenure. He is a changed person because he has seen a lot, and he took Muslim support this time. As we all know, Muslim went and voted for him. A major Muslim population of the USA, they voted for Trump. Why? Because he promised to them that he's going to end the war. Particularly, of course, this the Palestine, the war in Palestine, what Israel is doing. This is going beyond all human rights standard. Uh, so I don't know what is going to happen if we consider Bangladesh, the relationship with Bangladesh and USA, because we all understand that we had a passive support for this change when this revolution took place in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
And US did support Bangladesh.
Okay.
They technically and otherwise they put a support for Bangladeshi new change, and that actually many scholars and many analysts believe that it was because of US that India could not do a lot of the things that they could have done, because we have heard about Indian army being placed in our borders, closer to our borders. So it did not take place because of the fact that America stood up in favor of the revolution. And Hasina's safe exit, everything was planned ahead. If anything like this would happen, that she has to be given, this was the bargain that Indians did in favor of Hasina, because they owe so much to Hasina. Hasina was kept in India for 6 years and trained her to serve India. So that's what Sheikh Hasina has done in all these 15 years. And she has opened the door for Indian hegemony in Bangladesh. Not only hegemony, India has sucked our blood. They sucked the economy. They took advantage of Bangladesh's economy always. So my colleague here, Taslima, was saying this. We don't want to spread hate speech, or we don't want to spread hatred for India here, but we don't have to spread hatred. India themselves, through their activities and through their thrust, has already created so much hatred for India in the citizens of Bangladesh's minds that you don't have to do anything, because what they have done one-sided. See, during this 15 or 16 or 17 years, India has not given anything to Bangladesh, not even a drop of water. During the time we needed the water most, they have, on top of that, they have built garages. Look what happened to Tista, what happened to the North Bengal. The whole ecology of North Bengal has changed because of India's water hegemony. They have withdrawn all the waters when we needed it most. During the dry season, they took all the waters, and during the wet season, they made they released the water and
Okay.
made us our part of
I'll
the
come.
world. And
I'll come up to
even after
you.
the revolution, what
Yes.
happened after the revolution? Immediately
Mm.
after the revolution, India opened all their floodgates and made a man-made flood in Bangladesh to make the government of the new government of Bangladesh after the revolution, after the change of their hegemonic puppet. They wanted to flood us and make everything difficult for Bangladesh.
Okay.
See,
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll come back to you once again, of course.
all right, thank you.
Uh, okay. So right now, I want to provide floor to Taslima, ma'am, regarding the very same topic about the minority card. These BJP and RSS led people are now showing up to Bangladesh. That minority issue in Bangladesh is not a Bangladesh issue; it's an Indian issue. India is killing hundreds and thousands of people, you know, on a very industrial scale, but we are not providing the same card to them. Our foreign minister, our head of the states, they're not playing the same card with the Indian policymakers. So today you have actually seen the body language of the foreign secretary becomes mystery when he was having conversation with our foreign secretary, Mr. Joshimuddin. What do you think about the minority card that is being played out to us? What should we do with that, please?
Well, the interesting thing is that after 5th of August, we noticed that a lot of people gathered in front of Westminster, and they all of a sudden started saying that Hindus are not safe in our country. So overnight, they created this whole thing. And whenever we like they want to play something, they use this minority card. This is what they have been playing like decade after decade, the Indians. You probably heard one of their shows back in 2020's December. Ex officers, they came and they shamelessly criticizing BNP, shamelessly criticizing Muslims and all those things, and they are blaming that whatever incident, whatever terrorism happening in Bangladesh, in India, Bangladeshi terrorists are responsible for that. So I want to say that time I did protest, and now we also want to say that whatever have been happening in our country, India is behind all of it. Every single massacre, India is behind all of it. And then you probably heard Ruhul Kabir Rizvi, our BNP senior leader, and then he blamed that India is behind the killing of Shahid President Ziaur Rahman. Yeah, and that's the truth. This like just not Shahid President Jia. Where is our Ilyas Ali? Where is our 623 innocent people who have been abducted and disappeared and murdered. Why our individual's dead body is found in India? Why? There must be some reason. So whatever is happening in Bangladesh, whatever unrest situation they are trying to cause, India is behind all of it. We opened our borders. The fascist Sheikh Hasina opened our borders for them, and then they are freely moving heavy vehicles, and we didn't have any authority to check what inside in those vehicles they have been carrying. And now if you check, they gathered all the arms in hill tracks area. They gathered arms in Sylhet and all other areas. So this is what now India is trying to do by playing that minority card. But in Hindus in our country, they are saying that no, we are safe. We are safe. Please protect us from India's Hindus. We are safe here. And another funny thing that India, I mean, where they like minority groups in their country are not even safe. Sikh are not safe in their country. Then Christian are not safe. Buddhists are not safe in their country. Like every year, they burn down churches, they burn down factories and other things. And now they are telling us that Hindus are not safe in our country. How come all of a sudden they are doing this thing? Why they were when our like 57 army officers killed? Where were they when our more than 100 innocent children were killed in Shapla Chattor? Where they have been? They didn't say a single word. Nada, nothing at all. So now at this point, thank God we Bangladeshis are now aware of it. Like our Muslim brother, like madrasa students, madrasa teachers, they guard the temples, they guard the churches and everything. So that's the example already they set up. And now all the Bangladeshis, and I believe the whole world now aware of it, that India might play anything in our country. But I think their diplomacy, they failed. That like they failed in Nepal, they failed in Maldives. Now they are whatever they are trying to do, they failed. So I think that now they need to change their strategy. They need to focus something that will be more helpful to Bangladeshi people as well as Indians. Friendship should be between two people of two countries, not just two governments. So they need to change their strategy. And as you were saying regarding the minority card, I think it didn't work out. Indians are not successful at all to play this card.
Okay.
That's all I can say that at the
Okay,
moment. Thanks.
welcome. So may I actually ask question to Barrister Sarwar sir if he is actually prepared? Sarwar sir, could you please respond if I ask you a question? I think he is yet to get to the residence. So in between the time, I want to actually pose question to Rita ma'am about the importance of the media, as we have actually witnessed how Republic World, Arnab Goswami, even so-called progressive secular liberals like NDTV, India Today, India Times, the where all kinds of Indian news channels, they have started a media war against Bangladeshi. And we've taken the lead right now. The press secretary of Dr. Yunus, Shafiq Bai, he actually expressed the importance of a media 24 into 7 English news channel. And actually, as an American Bangladeshi, what do you think about the English news channels and the English broadcasting uh, newspapers and other news agencies in Bangladesh at this very moment to fight this very war against Bangladesh? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I have to. Yes, thank you for unmuting. Media is very, very important for dissemination of information, as we know. And like I was saying, the backdrop, how India works, one has to understand. They have a lot of influences in our present media. But before that, I need to correct you. I'm not an American Bangladeshi immigrant. I'm actually Bangladeshi. I was trapped in India because I could not come back to my country because there was a red flag against me. So politically, so if I had come earlier, I would have been maybe landed in the Ainaghar, or maybe I would have been in the jail if I had come earlier. So
You better not use the word that very word Ainagor. You better use the human slaughterhouse that have been
yeah,
actually
the
exposed
concentration
by
camp or kind of
concentration camp,
slaughter.
human
Yeah,
slaughterhouse.
yes. It's a very crude concentration camp, much worse than what we know of Hitler's concentration camp that was created in Bangladesh, which is called Ainaghar. There were a lot of reports on Ainaghar by now. So people should be familiar with Ainaghar by now if they know anything about the changes that happened in Bangladesh since August 5th, you know. But yes, what I was saying, that media is so important. So India, or the intelligence, uh, the external intelligence of India, which is called RAW, had been very, very active in Bangladesh ever since the partition took place. I mean, on this region, in this region, I mean, it was East Pakistan before, or East Bengal. But
Yeah,
India had really emphasized on the media and the cultural field earlier during the
yeah,
Pakistan time. They were still working to
yeah,
separate this country from Pakistan and take it into their grip so that they can manipulate, because they could tell the resources that Bangladesh had, the geopolitical importance and the resources that they could use, and they have done that. They could finally successfully do that during the last 15 or 16 or 17 years of Sheikh Hasina's rule. That also includes the interim government just before the election of 2008. As we all know, the interim government was also compromised in favor of India. That we all know, who are working a bit deeper into the political aspects or the going ons of this region. They know very well that what happened since 2006 to 2008, and then after that, what happened. This regime was made permanent because this regime, led by Sheikh Hasina, was their regime. I mean, India's or Raw's trained regime. They could do anything they wanted. And that hostile the whole population of this region, this country. People become very anti-Indian. We have seen what happened when people were going for boycotting Indian product. We have seen even in the remote villages, people, this generals, the very simple people, citizens, were boycotting Indian products, everything. They were boycotting the spices. Some were boycotting the onions from India, everything, the clothes. So this was a very popular theme during those days, you know.
thank you,
So
thank you, mom.
we had
We'll
the
come
need.
back to you.
Yes,
We'll
we had.
definitely come back to you, since we've got Barrister Sarwar sir with us. Many of you have got no idea. I would love to reintroduce with you to you regarding Barrister Sarwar. He is a graduate and postgraduate of international relations, and then he did his Barrett law course. So he is the very right person to speak about the foreign policy between these two
But
countries. As
you
you know,
see, Mr. Moderator, sir, I need to intervene here. You have to let me finish. You asked me a question, but you did not let me
of
finish
course,
my
please
answer.
move on,
Please do
move on,
let
move
me
on, please.
finish the answer. You asked me about the media. Let me
Okay, please
finish, and
move on,
we welcome Mr. Sarwar, Barrister Sarwar.
please,
He's a
please move
very good
on.
friend of ours. We welcome him. The
Yeah,
thing is, the media has been subjugated in many ways. Our mainstream India was totally controlled by the intelligence, external intelligence of India, which is called RAW. Even there, they were directly financing some of the, especially the visual media, like
mm,
Ekattu TV and other TVs. I don't want to mention the names at this right at the moment, but the
mhm,
media was totally controlled. See, overnight, things have changed ever since the revolution. The younger generation, the Zen generation, has shown us a path to sacrifice, give blood for their country. They have taught us this, the whole nation, and the
thank
country was free and liberated. The media has changed there, but the thread is still there, the Indian thread. And what the Indian media is doing in India shows their unity. Even though Modi is a very biased, religiously a very biased person, media is actually aligning with Modi's policies in India. That is a very sad story for Bangladesh and also for the world. They should know how India is. Like you were mentioning, the minority card in India, the way they are playing. They're playing it so blatantly, so clearly, and so shamelessly, and they
you.
are accusing Bangladesh of torturing the minority where there is no evidence of any minority torture.
Yeah.
So this is the picture of media. Actually, India, there is something about India we have to learn
Okay.
more.
Thank you, ma'am. We will
Finish.
definitely get back to you once again. Thanks
Yes,
for your thanks for your take on this. Right now, I would love to provide the floor to Barrister Sarwar sir. So please tell us about the Indian hegemony in Bangladesh.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'm sorry that I could not join in time. I thought the place I was attending a wedding ceremony and can come by 15 minutes, and that took 45 minutes. That is the state of condition of the roads here, even at the midnight. However, uh, 5th August has taken place. A revolution has taken place. It looked like that by some portion of the Indian people and media that they have lost a province. It was not the fall of a fascist. It was not fall of the autocrat Awami League, but look like that the whole India has fallen. Though India officially deny and they try to say the last visit by the Foreign Secretary of India that they don't control the media, but actually sometimes the uh, foreign policy exposure, foreign policy intention is being, first of all, exposed by the media. So that is another dirty politics that some of the uh, regimes do, like India. Now, I take the fault line uh, just coming to 1947 that India, we were under the colonial rule for 190 years. In these 190 years before that, India was ruled by the Muslim rulers. And the BJP, the seed of BJP and this Hinduttavadi was right back in 1000 years back. And when the British took over India, they invited the Brahmins and told them that, look, Muslim took over the power from you, and we have taken over the power from Muslims. You people must be loyal to us. And 190 years, which is called 200 years, the Indians were very loyal to the British, and British in turn gave them all the benefits, and thereby the that Hindu Zamindar were created. So Muslim were lagging behind by two other factors. First, 1857, the mutiny took place against British, and that mutiny was led by the Muslim officers and Zawans. And uh, another thing was going on that Muslims should not learn English because thereby the sanctity of Muslim will be disturbed, which were later on corrected by Soyed Hasanullah and many Muslim scholars. So come to 1947, this is only history in the world that two nations were created on religion's base. Nowhere in the world. Though some two new countries were created by the world powers on the base of the religion. One is Sudan, another is East Timor. But two nations were created in subcontinent in 1947, basing on the religious line. And the fault line was Pakistan was created, keeping India 1,200 miles away. Only nexus was religion. So Bangladesh will be liberated or Bangladesh would be created. That was only a matter of time. If not 71, it would have been in 81. If not 81, it would have been in 91. So that was the fault line. And in the Lahore resolution, it was said number of Muslim states, but only one Muslim state were created. So the division of subcontinent was faulty. We were given a very small piece of land. In West Pakistan, a bit more, and in Bangladesh, now present Bangladesh, we were given a very small piece of land. Bangladesh should have been created with Bangla, Bihar, Orissa, and Seven Sisters. So when, after the fall of this fascist, when India again playing the dirty game of religion issue, last 15 years from 2009 to 2024, they taught Awami League that whatever blame the Jamaat and BNP and bring the religious issue that minority will not be protected other than the Awami League, and that has boomeranged, that has misfired. So same old card is being played, and this card is coming from Indian foreign policy, is being executed by RAW. Having said that, from the Indian point of view, from the RAW point of view, their plan, their strategy has totally failed. The foreign policy, Indian foreign policy, from their perspective, has faced a disaster. It has become a disaster.
Yes, I want to be
Now,
specific about Indian foreign policy disaster here, not just in Bangladesh, but also in this whole subcontinent.
yes,
And they have
now,
to accept Bangladesh 2.0. How can we actually find a common ground after all these
now,
unfolding situations?
now, let me tell that, you know, the concept of foreign policy is totally faulty, age old. Their concept derived from Chanukya policy, which is otherwise known as Koitullo, where they categorize their neighbors either slave or enemy. Their concept in the neighborhood that disturb the neighbor, put them in trouble, and you remain safe. This is totally disastrous foreign policy towards the neighbor. That's why they don't have any friendly neighbor around them. Even tiny Maldives speak against them. Only Hindu country Nepal is against them. Pakistan is a declared enemy country. They could plunder Bangladesh. Let me say again that from 1970 on, they are plundering Bangladesh.
Yes.
This so-called support in the liberation war, the main objective was to divide Pakistan and emerge as a regional power. And they just came for 12 days in Bangladesh. If now question is, if India didn't intervene, if India didn't participate physically with the troops, would Bangladesh be liberated? Of course. As a military person, the independents were knocking at the door. You came at the last moment. They always talk that they have sheltered 10 millions of refugees. That was not your will. That is the international obligation. You got assistance for that. So you cannot take a credit that you have protected 10 millions of refugees, as we are protecting the Rohingya refugees. So that is your international obligation. So the policy of raw, the concept of foreign policy is totally faulty. Now in Bangladesh, the raw has failed everywhere in the neighborhood and in the world. Remember, recently, the India is following a terrorist foreign policy. They have killed a freedom-seeking person in Canada,
Yeah.
and the relationship has gone worst. And they tried to kill another in USA. Now, in this South Asia, they could not, this raw could not implement their policy anywhere other than Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, unofficially, we come to know that almost more than lakh active raw agent is in Bangladesh, and many are in the armed forces. I know many will be listening this talk show. I have told in many forums that a high power inquiry should be launched by Ministry of Defense, by the Office of the Chief Advisor, to find out the agent of the raw. We know few agent has been punished, but one of the top raw agent, Lieutenant General Mujib, has fled away. Raw has given him safe passage. So in his absentia, first of all, a inquiry should be held to find out the raw agents, and importantly, a high power inquiry should be launched to find out the agent, and there should be trial. Mujib should be trial by court martial in absentia. Otherwise, Bangladesh armed forces and this nation will not be free from the raw agents. They will do all this sabotage, and they will disturb the nation to raise. They will disturb in harmony. And we know this raw agents has been created since 1971, because where a regular force were created, and this raw has created a Mujib Bahini. This Mujib Bahini were nothing but all are agents of raw. They always look after the Indian interest, then the people's interest of Bangladesh, then the national interest of Bangladesh. That's why time has come. After 5th August, a high power inquiry should be launched, should be convened, and to find out the agent in Bangladesh, especially in armed forces. Otherwise, this raw will keep playing dirty with us. We know who are the agents. It can be found easily. That's why I said that Indian foreign policy is disastrous. Their so-called India doctrine or
Yeah.
Indira doctrine, which implies that the neighbor will be dealt by India only, that is failed, that will fail. They followed a Gujral policy. Gujral policy means the accommodative policy, but that is only in the paper. That is not in the reality. Shoykot, you are a student of international relations. You understand what I am trying to mean, what I am talking about. So
Right.
that's why India will keep failing. Where if they do not follow a accommodative policy, the region should develop equally, and thereby this economic stability will bring the security like the Western Europe, which
Right.
which has been implemented by Marshall Plan.
Marshall
I
Plan.
ask my Indian friends that
Yeah.
read Marshall Plan,
Yeah.
and you must learn the modern international relations. You
Yes.
must learn the modern diplomacy. You shun out the Changetv policy. Otherwise, you
Totally.
will keep failing. Your
Yeah.
Changetv policy is disastrous within. That's why I said that the so-called Indian hegemony,
Mm.
so-called big brotherly attitude will
Yeah.
keep failing. It has
Yeah.
failed earlier in all neighboring countries. Now it has failed in Bangladesh. It will keep
That's fine.
failing. Come to
Sir,
come to the terms, come to the terms, and learn from the Western Europe. Thank you very
we
much.
will, yes, thank you. We will do a lot of shows with you. Taslima ma'am is actually waiting for us. She started from the very scratch right now. I would love to provide the floor to Taslima ma'am regarding your take on our responsibilities to provide appropriate rebuttals to Indian propaganda campaign. How can we actually do it in the best means? Please tell us about some of the means.
You mean what we could do to stop India's propaganda? Was
Yes,
that your
of course.
question?
Yes, that's my
Oh,
question,
okay,
please.
okay. Thank you, and thank you, Barrister Sarwar Bhai as well. It was very thoughtful, the discussion. I think the audience is enjoying. Anyway, however, as Barrister Sarwar Hossain Bhai mentioned, little bit of Nirchhar Sikh leader Nirchhar's killing. So I think I should, or we all should, show our sympathy towards Sikh community. We feel the entire news was very, very much disturbing, and we express our deepest condolences to Nirchhar, who was being killed in Canada and who was an active member of Sikh community who have been fighting for their own freedom. So this is brutal thing. Again, another brutal act done by Indians by their citizen. So that's really, really annoying and disturbing news for all of us. However, propaganda that will be going on. I mean, we can't get rid of it, but we need to educate ourselves as much as possible. And then another way you already started, like organizing talk show. This is also another way to make people aware of it. And deep down, all Bangladeshis are now believe that they need their own space to think, to act. They don't want any dominance from anyone else. So it already started, and now we are just seeing the consequences India is going through now. However, what we should do, first thing, I believe now at this point it's really important for our government to focus on health sector. It's really now important because every year nearly 10 lakh give and take people are going to India and for treatment purposes, and they spend billions of dollars there, which we could saved if we can focus more to improve our health sector. And another small example I would like to give you, that every year nearly 5 to 7 lakh patients died because of the very unreadable handwriting. That comes as prescription given by the doctor. So if they can at least set up or created the apps to provide prescription by computer, like if the prescriptions are computerized, I think that will help or save people. So this is the minimum thing the government should do. And as I said, like not only government, like people around the world, all the Bangladeshi people, I think if government or any individual take any initiative to create an international standard cancer hospital in Bangladesh, I think everyone will love to contribute just to stop people going and taking treatment from India.
But
So this is one thing. Yeah.
please, in
And another
Pakistan,
important thing that like
ma'am, in Pakistan, there is a cancer hospital named Shaukat Kanam Hospital, which was founded by Imran Khan.
mhm. Yeah, they did. We could do that. We could do that, and I'm very much optimistic. After 5th August, I'm like I started dreaming. I started hoping. So we could do. And Bangladeshis will do that. I believe. I believe that. And another important thing, like many countries, we have a portion of corrupted individuals who became corrupted politicians or businessmen. So I would like to request to them that don't fall into honey trap. If you have money or whatever, go to somewhere else. Let not anyone know. Because of your stupid act, we are suffering. Because many of our politicians, they became in India's trap because of those silly things like honey trap and all those things. These are the one of the things that India have been playing for ages. So this is very small thing, but we need to act on it. And then also I would like to request the mass people, the common people, that not to show any any rumor from us. We shouldn't do that. And as I said, at this moment, I can see that all the politicians are united. They all are committed to protect our sovereignty. So this is the great moment, a great opportunity to create ourselves, to prove ourselves who we are, who we actually are. So we need to utilize this moment properly. That's what I would love to tell them.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Depending on Indian media, like we shamelessly watch India's movies, India's serial and everything in our country, but India, they don't show our cinema or drama, nothing. So these are the thing. Another corrupted people, in our country, are our a portion of our cultural activists. They are the traitors, and they are always opportunists. They were there before and they are now as well. So
Thank you
this
so
group needs to be identified as well, because they are always creating chaos and taking the most advantage from any sort of situation without thinking the best interest of people or the best interest of the country. So that's
much.
all I can say at the moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Taslima ma'am. Such a pleasure. I would like to request Rita ma'am to stay bit patient, because Barrister Sarwar sir actually joined us at the very end of the show. We'll let him speak out, right? So I would like to request Barrister Sarwar sir to actually tell us about how can we actually, of course, we should decrease our dependency and connectedness with India, but India is suffering very, very badly, especially the people of Calcutta, West Bengal. They speak Bangla. They've been suffering. We can see it through our media and other channels. I mean, in international relations, we cannot actually live separately. Since we both are students of international relations, we understand how important it is to be respectful in international foreign policy mechanism and foreign policy dictations. So India played a minority card, but it has failed. But before the election, BJP and RSS, they're coming up with the notion, and show even the people like Mamata Banerjee, they are also telling that, we are the one requesting Modi to send United Nations peacekeeping force to Bangladesh because the situation of minorities have become extremely worse. This is their narrative. How can we actually counter this narrative, and how can we actually come forward with the peaceful settlement by finding a common ground between these two countries to live peacefully as respectful and friendly neighbors? Please.
Look, India is probably facing another election in next 2 years. So the religious card is one of the biggest tool in the election. And Mamata, forgetting the reality, demanded their central government for a peacekeeping in Bangladesh. The reply has been given in their parliament by one of their politicians that Mamata actually do not know the modalities as to how, when, and how the UN peacekeepers are deployed. Actually, UN peacekeeper is required for India because India, by politics, following a religion-based politics, they are carrying out a ethnic cleansing, like annihilating the Muslims, annihilating the Sikhs. So, a truly a peacekeeping operation is required in India itself. There is already a UN resolution regarding Kashmir. So there should be another resolution to deploy peacekeeping in India actually. So that sort somehow or other it has been already told by their politician. Now look, India has border with Pakistan, with Bangladesh, with Bhutan, Nepal, and Myanmar and China. They cannot kill anyone in the other borders other than the Bangladeshi border. So in many talk show, I have said that if they kill one of our citizens, we should kill two of their citizens. And this robbery and all those operations they have lost with Bangladesh paramilitary, or to talk about the military itself. So these are the country that follow a deceitful, a foreign policy which is full of deceit, which is full of lies, and there is no consistency in their foreign policy. So that's why in international relations, the relations between India and Bangladesh must be at par, like to sovereign country, and it must be win-win situation. It should not be a policy that they will impose 120 memorandum of understanding or agreements which the people of Bangladesh do not know what is the contents of those agreements and MOU, and that is never discussed in parliament as per the provision of the constitution. So this so-called support in our liberation war, they wanted to establish a puppet government, and they could not do until 2009. In 2009, by this so-called first on 11, they could establish a puppet government for which they had been waiting for long 40 years until 2009. In 2009, they could get a government like Bhutan and Sikkim. They have annexed Sikkim. They could not annex Bhutan, but Bhutan is absolutely under their influence. Their own division troops are always there in Bhutan. So they wanted to have a government in Bangladesh like the government of Hamid Karzai in Afghanistan. All show will be run by the Indians. This government will remain just as an eyewash. That's why they could make all those agreements and MOU, depriving of the national interest, depriving of the interest of the people. How come? Why they should monitor the radar station, establish radar station, and they will monitor the radar station? They make an agreement, as we come to know, that their ship will get priority even over the Bangladeshi ship in Chittagong port. They will use your land virtually with no tariff. So that's what they wanted. There are about 1 million plus people who will work in Bangladesh without any work permit, and they will ship on off $10 billion every year to India. India become the fourth largest remittance earner from their illegal worker in Bangladesh. So that's what they wanted, a government like that, and they got Awamu League like that. They could put Sheikh Hasina as their puppet government to plunder Bangladesh. As I said in earlier phase, that this plundering has started right in 1970 on. The plundering could not happen during the Zia's regime or even Ershad regime. Again, they have started in 2009, and they have plundered so much that our economy already in ruin. You know that the Bangladeshi bank even cannot give 5 lakhs taka. They have this interim government has to print a new notes to cope up with the situation. So India wanted a government like that, and when Awamu League has fallen, they have become mad actually, that their project of long years has failed. That's why they have protected all those plunders. India not only physically plundered Bangladesh, now those plunderers, those dacoit of Awamu League has taken shelter in India. They are not taking any action. One BNP leader, Mr. Salahuddin, was there, and he faced trial, where hundreds of these looters, hundreds of plunderers, led by Sheikh Hasina herself, has taken shelter in India, and nobody is touching them. Four of the Awamu League leader is arrested because of the raping. Yeah, they have started their old game in India, and they are caught. So those fascists, the actor of the fascist, including Sheikh Hasina, has taken so much of money to India that they are on the one hand they are enjoying their life, on the other hand they like to unstable this interim government and the upcoming governments. I hope Professor Yunus realized that That's why
Sir,
Professor Yunus
if
said that if
if
you try to unstable Bangladesh, we will
yes,
unstable your seven sister. So he realized that.
that's
So
it.
this interim government must take guard. So the last word I think is that we will have relations with India
Mm,
as the relations that two sovereign country can have to protect the interests of the people, to protect the interest of Bangladesh. If that create a anti-Indianism, what
mm,
President Zia followed, the
mm,
policy of Indian state, that we must follow. It does not matter whether India become happy or not. We are not here to make India happy. The appeasement policy, Mrs. Rita is here. I know her for the long term. I know Mr. Taslima. So appeasement policy has failed anywhere. We find a portion of BNP leaders
Hitler
try
was
to follow
appeased.
a appeasement policy towards India. You
Yes,
should stop that. Go back to the President Zia's policy, anti-Indian stand for the interest of the country, for the interest of people. That should be the foreign policy of nationalist force. There is no shortcut. That is the
yes,
best answer. Look, we must take example, we must take lesson from Nepal. In Nepali constitution, India wanted to insert two clauses to their interest. The Nepali constitution framework didn't agree on that. The nefarious India stopped their supply for 6 months to Nepal. Was that the Nepal face a famine or the people died out of food? Nothing happened.
yes,
We should give message to the people. Be prepared if India does not export potato, onion, or other food materials. We Bangladeshi people should be ready to accept that. We will
yes,
find out the alternative source. And if you do not take onions for 15 days, if you do not take potato for 15 days, what happens? Nothing happens. I think the Bangladeshi people after 5th August are prepared and will take lesson from Nepal that if you stop your export, will not import. It is not one-way traffic. It is two-way traffic. If you do not export, your economy will suffer. Your perishable items will perish away. So we Bangladeshi people should be prepared. These many Indians in their all discussion try to say we will stop cotton, we will stop onion, we will stop potato. Doesn't matter. I think Bengali people are now prepared. Bangladeshi people are prepared to face any of your dirty game towards Bangladesh.
okay,
Cottons basically come from Egypt. The Indian people, there are some middle person. Cotton does not come from India. So we understand that. We are prepared that India should stop their export for 6 months. We will cope up as Nepal has coped it up. We are prepared for. That is the message to the Indian foreign policy. We have
thank
many friends person to person. There are many good person in India. We find they can criticize. So this Hindutvadi regime is the biggest problem for India itself. It is the biggest problem for the neighborhood. Thank you.
thank you, sir. Right now, I would like to request Rita ma'am to conclude. Could you please come up about your concluding statement regarding the whole issue?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. For now, actually, although India is our closest neighbor, and they are surrounding us from almost all 3.5 side, uh, but India had never proven themselves to be our friends. They have never treated Bangladesh or citizen of Bangladesh, let alone the border killing. We don't want to emphasize on that again because it has been spoken already, discussed here. So India never has taken Bangladesh seriously or never taken us on equal footing. They have always undermined us, discriminated us, and tried to suck our blood, take everything, all our resources, without giving anything in return. They have gained so much from the last regime. If we want to conclude, this is we don't need to emphasize here, because everybody, all the citizens of Bangladesh by now, they are a witness, and they are all very well aware of what India had been doing with
Thank
us, which could have been different.
Okay, thank you.
India
Apologize.
could have
Yes.
been, just let me give you the last, because you wanted me to conclude, so last one sentence. I can understand that you don't like me talking very much, because I see that you are intervening in between my sentences. I'm sorry, but I could not make you happy, our
It's
moderator.
right now 11:48 in Bangladesh, right? It's
I
nearly
think
1
Bangladesh
hour and
too.
50
Yes.
minutes.
So that if you want, I should have stopped there. You shouldn't have, because I've already spoken so much. I could have not been
Yes,
spoken
such a
again.
pleasure. I hope we will get you later on, okay?
Yes, all right. Thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course, you
But I
must
could not
attend us in
conclude.
upcoming session.
Conclude. Thank you. Thank you. I could
Thank you.
not
Thank you.
conclude.
Please
But
join us
anyway, thank you.
the other day.
Thank you
Please
very
join
much.
us the other
Thank
day,
you.
and we want to
Yes, yes.
apologize. We
No,
want to
don't
apologize to
apologize, please.
Taslima
Go
ma'am.
ahead.
Taslima ma'am, would you like to come up with any concluding statement, please?
Yeah, I won't be long. And thank you, Rita, once again, and Barrister Sarwar bhai. I was listening your speech. It was really, really, very much helpful and knowledgeable, I believe. I would like to ask my colleagues, political colleagues, and the audience, of course, to have patience and not to put ourselves in danger by like following the rumors, and not to spread any rumors from us, just to put faith or trust on this government and the politicians and the individual stakeholders who have been working on the same issue and who has showed their unity, which is to save and protect the sovereignty of this country. So I hope that audience will I mean enjoyed our show, and we have been trying to create the awareness against this Indian's hegemony. And once again, I would like to say that we are not against of India, but we are against of Indian aggression. As soon as India changes themselves, as soon as they shows the respect to our neighboring country, to any of neighboring countries, especially, of course, with to us, then we are fine. We don't find any problem or obstacles to become friends with them once again. Till then, of course, we would love to enjoy friendship with Pakistan, Nepal, Maldives, whoever comes with respect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome. I hope, Sarwar sir, you will join us the other day. Would you like to come up with any concluding statement, please?
I like to say the last word that India should correct their mistake. India must make relations with the people of Bangladesh, not with a family, not with a party. And I will say the last word to them, to the Indian foreign policy makers. Don't try to export terrorists in Bangladesh like Canada. That will be disastrous for you. Make relations with the people of Bangladesh and try to accept the reality what has happened in 5th August. Don't try to follow the age-old foreign policy as you are trying to do. That will make you corrected. Remember, a stable Bangladesh is in your interest. A unstable neighbor, a unstable Bangladesh, definitely you are also will be in problem. You must remember that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Dear audiences, please join us on regular basis. We will be coming up with a lot more wonderful sessions like this. And we want to congratulate both of our uh, speakers here, Taslima ma'am and Barrister Sarwar sir, for joining us. And thank you so much to the audiences out there as well. Goodbye for now. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.